Mm, okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. So moving forward, that's how I'm gonna play it. Hey, yo, what's up, Alfred? Yeah, just one loss, man. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck, but I'm gonna follow the rules on that. I'm gonna follow the rules on it. Yo, I can't believe that that news was used as the catalyst to dump the market down. That was the most stupid. Like honestly, that just goes to show that the market, that news only facilitates trades that's already going to happen. Everybody should know at this point that Trump cannot fire Powell without cause. He can only dismiss or reappoint Powell when his term ends. That's the only powers that Trump has. Everybody knows that. I can't believe that. When I saw the news that actually pumped gold like this and dumped everything else, I was like, "Is this thing serious?" Ah, shit! I should have paid attention to that. I got really do that. I really pay attention to that. Stop with the not thinking crap. I was like, is people serious? Everybody knows that. Everybody should know that. Powell does not. The Fed is an independent entity. Trump cannot fire Powell. But hey, I mean, if he was in a short, you don't give a fuck. Yo, if he was in that shit short, and I guess people stopped caring about it as soon as it hit demand because that shit went right back up. So I was like, well, of course I missed the good price action when I'm not in front of my desk. Of course, right? Of course. Mm, I mean, do I want to do it that way? I mean, technically, yeah, that's how you have to do it. Technically, technically, that's exactly what it did. And if it does, uh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I already got it like that already. So I got it like that already. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it all lines up. So I mean, I'm waiting for a pullback back into this area right here. I'm waiting for a pullback back into this area. If we can get price to pull back and we get a run up, I'm looking to short this area up here. I'm looking to short Tuesday's opening range. Price never made it to the top of this range, so I do think that there's going to be some selling in that area. You said you took the orb on you lost on ES but made so much on shorts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the I mean shit. I mean the orb. Man, I will okay, so let's say this. So the orb worked. That was a decent trade. I mean, 303. I mean, it was a decent trade. That was a decent trade. I mean, it was literally a slight liquidity sweep. Price pulled back to the 50 EMA where I found resistance, and you got that break. So I mean, tonight will definitely be a short report because it didn't. Because what we're really looking for is you're not going to keep taking the orb, or I guess let me say it like this: the orb is supposed to work. That first break, we want to document if that first break, if it's going to be the money trade or not, because that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for let's take it on the 10th break. We want that first break to work. So that's how I want to kind of document this orb. Even though the real break, at least the money trade didn't happen until about the money trade didn't happen until about 10 o'clock. So what I want to do moving forward is I want to document uh the first break. I want to document the I want to document the fake outs until the breakout. And then I also want to add what time the actual real money trade break when that happened, because I think that's important. But uh after all of these failed breakdowns of the low and price getting swept right back up into this range, man, you had to have balls of steel to want to take this trade for the 10th time after getting stopped out so many times if you kept taking it and you took break even trades. Because I mean, like, the first one worked, but it was only like a 40-point play. The low of that range is oh 04. The low of this candle is 48. So that was a 56-point move right there to the downside. So that's a decent trade on the Nasdaq. That's a decent trade. I only take longs on the ES. Yeah, the day was definitely a day for shorts. I would have taken, so if I didn't have to go to the appointment today, I knew if I took a trade today, I probably would have been late because I just got there just in time. Like right at the time of the appointment is when I got there. The ES trade worked, and it look, I mean, it bounced exactly where we said it was going to bounce, and that's why I didn't necessarily want it to short the ES because, and that's the beautiful thing about the ES, man, because you can start a position from the trend line. You can see that the market was reacting to this trend line all day. The bulls tried to buy it off of it. They failed. They broke back above it. You can see, I mean, you can literally see that red candle at the trend line and the bears getting stopped out of it. You can literally see that red candle. Trend lines on the ES and gold it's a cheat code. It literally is a cheat code, man. Literally a cheat code. They're like gimme trades. And so this is why I didn't want to take the short on ES this morning, because it was going to run right into this trend line. But I mean, this trend, I mean, it was a 10-point play, but I'm not looking for 10 points. Even though 10 points is a decent trade, I'm not looking for 10 points. I'm looking for at least 13. But this was actually maybe let me see. So 90 minus 77. So this was actually a 13-point play. This would have been a good trade, but this was exactly 13 points. Exactly. And I would have got, if I didn't take the profits. So one of my targets would have gotten hit. Actually, you know what? So I would have gotten one of my targets hit. My stop would have been all the way back here at 301. Price never came back. We had a couple of scares where it's like, oh shit, I might have gotten stopped out. A couple of and then I would have got all my targets hit with this leg right here. So I don't know how to feel about that. Actually, let's look at that. I think I would have got a scale in. So did this touch 95? Yeah, I would have actually got my oh wow, this would have been a beautiful trade for me. Huh. Wow, this would have been a beautiful trade. Not only would have gotten my first target hit, but I would have gotten my scale in hit and gotten that hit, and it would have pulled back. But then I had to ask myself. I mean, I am stubborn. I was telling Alfred about you just have to be stubborn as hell to get all your targets hit if you're going to go for bigger targets because the market, especially the ES, likes to pull back and range before it actually breaks, and you'll get those bigger profit targets. But the question is, well, I think we all know the answer to that. I would have been highly upset for sure. I would have been upset. Actually, no, I don't think so. Because I would have had both of my targets hit. It's just the runners wouldn't have gotten hit. So no, I don't think I would have been upset. I just would have been frustrated that the market is trading back and forth. I would have been frustrated. But ultimately my target would have gotten hit. So Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, it would have gotten hit. So I guess it's really nothing to be frustrated about. Would have got hit. But for the Nasdaq traders, though, yeah, you had one great breakout. It even gave you a follow up. So it looks like the bears broke structure to the downside. They had a nice follow up, a clean break retest trade, but obviously it didn't break this low. So once you saw that the market did not take out this low, staying short in this would have been highly dangerous. And in this case, uh, that turned out to be very true. Uh, because obviously this was a liquidity sweep before coming back up until the bottom of this range, drops, trades right back into the range, and then we get that Trump is going to could potentially fire Powell. They just wanted to get the market to retest this area right here so I can trade higher. That's all they was looking for. Weak applesauce. He shorted the Nasdaq. Yo, congratulations on that, man. Wake up and then drop. Yeah, I'll look for that too. And this VWAP is actually been very helpful. I mean, this VWAP has been very accurate in which direction you should be trading in. I have VWAP starting at 7:55 in the morning. So we can get a clear indication of what side that we should focus on when trading the orb. And what I'm starting to see is that, huh, yeah, I mean, I guess you can trust you can trust VWAP. I mean, it hasn't lied. It hasn't misled us. It's been very clear about what direction the market is going in that short term. I mean, it hasn't lied. You can see the volume decreasing and then flattening out, kind of like with the price action. Volume chasing price up and then curving down. I mean, yeah, this was a clean, beautiful break to the downside. Mm. Yeah. But I'm gonna wait for this retest back into this thing, back into this area. I'm gonna wait for it. I think the market is going to chop everybody to death tonight. I think that's what's going to happen. Mm. Probably 45. Mm. Mm. Yeah, just trying to stop being cute about it. You know, I'm tempted. I really want to see what it does at this 200 EMA. I am tempted. Now, let me see. This is an SMA right here. Yes, that's my 200 EMA. Oh yeah, it's a lower time frame. Mm. Mm. Boy. All right. So I guess the market is gonna lull everybody to sleep. I'm gonna keep my limit there on gold. I'm gonna let this play overnight. This is a great area, I believe, for gold to come back and potentially see a bounce. You got yesterday's value area low. Think that we could potentially see the market react at that area. This is where the price broke out to the upside. So I think that price can come back into this area and definitely can probably see a reaction here. Probably like a bounce or something like that. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can say that again. Gain weight. The market is definitely not fun when the market is trading this way. Wow. Uh, wow. So the whole market right now is trading at very low liquidity right now. I know it's Asia, but man, that's tough right there, man. There's literally no volume in the market right now. Not enough to move it at. Not enough to move it. I may do it, man. I don't know. I may do it. Hmm. You would have been in. No. I don't even look right. Hmm. Hmm. That would have worked too. But I don't need it to sometimes work. I need it to work. Technically. That would have been too small. I don't want to try that. I mean, even if you need a magnifying glass to see that one. Man, these stressful shorts. You know, I'm looking at potentially we could see it because I mean if I'm going to be realistic here about what's about to set up or what could potentially set up. Now, I'm not saying that it will. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a green candle right here. Like I really wouldn't be surprised if we get like a sweep because we got the 200 EMA right here. We got this prior high right there. We got that low break structure to the upside, a potential double bottom retest. I don't know, man. That would be I think that would be a 60-40 or a 40-60 trade, a 40% trade. And it would have to be a quick scalp because there's highly likely to be profit takings at that high right there, probably at 300. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to find support at the 200 EMA. That 200 EMA S2 is at 286. Yeah, we do got some buyers sitting there at 285. All right, we'll see. You said it took all day. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. 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 I will say that these Trump markets, man, first term Trump markets was a beautiful thing. All I had to do was get long, go to sleep, take profits, and then get long again. Mm. But I mean, if we're going to talk about Powell, it does. I can understand why there's so much Powell slander going on because based on, hmm, honestly, I really don't know who to say this about. The whole reason that Powell was saying that he didn't want to cut rates is because he felt that tariffs was an unknown and that a lot of experts would say that tariffs would cause inflation. But we just got some inflationary data that suggests that the experts were wrong. And we are now in a day and age where that word is thrown around too loosely. Too loosely. We live in a time where technically, based on the amount of quote unquote education a person has received, they can be considered experts, even if out of the 20 years of expertise that these people have, they failed. So, knowing that, knowing the world that we live in now, where words they matter until they don't, I want to know what makes a person an expert economist. Because if all I got to do is study economy and get degrees in it, does that make me an expert in the field? Even though I haven't put any of the information that I've learned throughout the years in practice. And how do you put that in practice as an economist? I feel like the only person that has that quote unquote practice would be a Fed chair because he has to look at all of this data and he has to make the decisions. If you're not at that level where you're a Fed making policy decision and monetary decisions, how can you be considered an expert when all you can do is theorize and throw up graphs and or not graphs, models, because the world loves to use models nowadays. This says, well, my model suggests, but then we all know that models are all wrong because most of them are biased. Models can be right, but models are usually biased, so that makes them wrong. So I just feel that a lot of these experts just doesn't like the idea that Trump is doing things like everybody else. And if Trump is doing it, it's bad. It's the end of the world. We need to get our closest prepper friend and build bunkers underground to escape the cockroach apocalypse. But the data is suggesting that inflation is not increasing. And I think that's why everybody is at Powell's neck, is because now you have the data. It suggests that your experts and everybody's suggestions are wrong, and yet you're still keeping monetary policy high, which makes paying off debt more expensive than what it needs to be. And I think that's probably where all this that random Trump is going to fire Powell nonsense is coming from, because of the data that got released on Tuesday. So we all know that the world is a stage at this point. So I try not to, or I don't try. I just observe. I know that the world is a stage, and that if people wanted to fix the world, we have so many smart people in this world that this world would be operating efficiently. But we all know that the system is operating efficiently because it's doing what it's exactly supposed to do. It's to keep people in their place. is to keep the elites as elites, is to keep they're not necessarily oligarchs, the oligarchs in their place as oligarchs, the working class, the spending class, the poverty class. Everybody remains in their place because everybody can't be at the top. There won't be no room for it for everybody up at the top. So, with everybody in their proper place on the pyramid and all the wealth is where it needs to be, the system works perfectly. And I saw that the perfect society could exist, but people would reject it. And at first, when I heard that, I thought that that was some bullshit because it was like, you know what? Why wouldn't anybody want that quote unquote perfect society? Why not? Because it seems like that's all we're striving for. We're all trying to strive to live that perfect life. Why not? And then you start to begin to understand human nature, and then you realize that, yeah, even though people say that they don't love negativity, they love it. And if we didn't have drama, because I mean, you got to think about it. You got to think about why people just woke up one day, started accusing people of being witches and warlocks, and started burning them at the stake. Or people just started believing that if you sacrifice, I mean, out of all the things in the world, you sacrifice a virgin child to a volcano, and the volcano won't erupt. Stuff like that. You just begin to understand that people don't want peace. They just want chaos. They want controlled chaos. And if you really pay attention to it, our politics, I think after Obama, or probably that's where it really kind of started. That's when you like all you see is just drama, 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 drama at the White House. It's like a sitcom. There's never peace at the White House. It's always drama. This is going on. That is going on. This person's fighting. That person's fighting. Infighting between the two parties is always fighting. You thought that Elon Musk and Trump is going to be besties forever. And then all of a sudden they started fighting. It's just drama, drama, drama. That's all it is. Yeah. But shit, a lot of people don't like discipline. That's so I watched this interesting video, man. It's very interesting because I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't use it for that same purpose, but I love to think. So it's only stuff that I don't want to think about. I watched this interesting video that people are now using AI to think for them. And over time, what is that going to do? If people are being conditioned to turn off their brains and allow AI to think for them, over time, we're going to just have people that no longer thinks but complies. And we've already had this conversation before. We've already had a conversation that all the government has to do is, I mean, because it's been doing it's already done it during the election. You asked a question about Harris, and then you couldn't get ChatGPT off its knees or Alexa or any of these AI tools. They started sucking Harris's dick. Like, oh my God, Harris, the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my God, Harris. And then you asked it a question about Trump, and you got doom and gloom, and that he was going to be, he's the Antichrist and type shit, stuff like that. So, I mean, all the government got to do is really get people hooked on asking AI important questions and have it say it in a confident manner, and people's going to believe it. And it's hard to move people from what they believe. It's hard to move people. And you can automate mass control. I mean, obviously, you're going to have people that aren't dumb, but out of 3 out of 10 people, I mean, if 7 people are dumb or not dumb, but choose not to think for themselves, but delegate that task to other entities, then that's all you need. I mean, shit, you can let the 3 people think all you want. I got these 7 guys that's going to allow me to think for them. So yeah, we're going to create a society like that. And as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I see that happening. I mean, it's already happening now. So, I mean, all it takes at this point is time. That's it. Yeah, because you start thinking about, hey, that's not fair. Why is all the wealth only allocated to a certain group of people, to a certain class of people? I think I need to emphasize that, because I feel that racism, at least at this point in time, is just a distraction. It really is. It's really, because once you get up in the higher level, no one cares what color you are. They only care what you can do for them. That's all they care about. People on the ground care about what race, creed, color, ethnicity, core beliefs, all that. That's a survival way of thinking. Tribal base, limited resources. I only want to feed the people that look like me. I want to harm or potentially help people that don't look like me move over to their next life. It's just tribal. It's a tribal way of thinking. That's it's just very evident. It really is. Because once you get to once you get higher in life, it's not about what you are, it's who you are. And if you look at the entertainment industry, you can see that people of high class get treated with respect, no matter what color they are. Look at Obama. Uh, Even though he was called all kinds of names, he gets respected by, I believe, not necessarily everybody, but there's a lot of respect for Obama. Uh, there's a lot of respect for LeBron, even though he's a basketball player. Uh, there's a lot of respect for a lot of people in high places. Even Biden gets respected, even though he was suffering from dementia during his presidency. He is respected. No one cares about what color you are when you're up there. It's what can you do for me, and how can we help each other, and that's all people care. But anyway, so I do think that AI is probably going to be because I mean you can already see it, especially with kids, and once the kids are indoctrinated in asking AI questions, then that's when it becomes very dangerous. Because if all their questions are being answered by a pre-programmed robot, then you're not going to have your children ask their parents anything. Parents are going to have to be more vigilant about uh, controlling what their kids consume. Because once a kid gets something in their mind and they believe it, it's the hardest thing to get them to not believe it. Because we all know that kids are emotionally based. They're not even thinking logically. You got kids thinking that Santa Claus is real and shit. Like come on. Even kids that don't got chimneys, they believe in I mean it's a simple thing, but as a kid you believe in a freaking Easter bunny that leaves eggs. You believe in Santa Claus. You believe in all kind of stupid shit that you know don't exist. What is it called? A tooth fairy? You lose your teeth and you get rich. Kids are very impressionable. So it's AI is definitely going to play a pivotal role in shaping the next generation, even though the next generation is kind of fucked. I think because we've lost a generation of mental illness in TikTok. Uh, I think that's probably why we have the boomer generation still working. Mm, I mean, well, I mean the millennials still there, but everybody after the not the millennials, is it Gen? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, the kids, the kids of millennials, their generation, yeah, they're basically gone because they were the ones that were, as soon as technology and social media was coming up, those were the kids that got affected by it the most. These now these upcoming kids, they're still engulfed in the internet, but the internet is basically a way of life, not necessarily reality for them, if that makes sense. It's just a way of life. It's like, yeah, I gotta, like, your kids have or kids nowadays have a YouTube channel. That's normal to them. If you don't have a YouTube channel or streaming or have a social following, then you would be considered an outcast type shit. That's what that's what kids have grown into. Like with us, boomers, millennials, having something like this would have been an extra curriculum activity, something that is not necessarily a part of our reality. And if we're doing it, then it's bigger than us because obviously this is not, it wasn't a part of our reality at all. This was stuff that was exclusive to TV stars, uh, your news anchors. That's why news anchors get paid so much money because they're basically celebrities. Stuff like what we're doing right now, streaming and stuff like that. Yeah, that was allocated to an elite sort of people. But now it's normal for kids. So that's definitely something that, as a parent, we definitely have to watch what our kids are asking ChatGPT and the answers that ChatGPT is giving to our kids because they'll believe. Mm, Jesus. I don't know. It's so I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know about that because that is definitely a touchy subject too. Because in one camp, and it says that Jesus wasn't a real person, but it's symbolic of consciousness, or it's symbolic of what's going on in the body. Some would say that the Virgin Mary and Joseph are metaphors of, what is it called, the pituitary, it's two glands in the brain, and they give birth to, and she gives birth to that quote unquote Christ oil that the brain releases, and it goes down your spine, and then it goes right back into it goes down your spine to get crucified, and then it goes back up your spine to enlighten your mind. And that's supposed to be symbolic of that process, not an actual historical event of a person. Because if you really think about it, if Jesus was a real person, then that means that he died and he literally resurrected 3 days later. I mean, do we see that? And it's supposed to be symbolic, but people believe it to be true. And no one can say that it's not true. I mean, you can't say that people's core beliefs are wrong without any valid evidence to back it up. And even if you did have valid evidence to back it up, people are going to believe it. It's their core belief system and what makes them them. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily have an opinion on that. I just understand that some people believe him and some people don't. I mean, I think we can all agree to that. I think that's something that we can all agree to or all agree with. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, the one thing that I've understood earlier on as I went on this journey of try to understand as much information as possible is that yeah, everybody has a I mean every culture has a deity or god or something that they worship. So that just tells me that that's something that's innate in everybody, that everybody looks externally from themselves for a spiritual connection. I'll just use that word. So that's universal for everybody because there's a regardless if you don't believe in anything or if you believe in demons and you want to worship a specific demon or angel or God or whatever, right? It's universal that we all do it. Uh, so there has to be some truth in it, but unfortunately, everybody can't come to an agreement of one thing because there's different variations and there's different interpretations of the same thing based on environment and perception. I'll say that because someone said if there's a God, why is there evil in the world? And then somebody will turn around and says there's evil in the world, so when you see God, you know exactly what you're looking at. Without you can't appreciate the light if there's not darkness, stuff like that. So uh some people believe in aliens, but at the same time, I mean, could we look at aliens as a deity of some sort? I mean, would an alien be called a demon? I mean, is there any difference between it? I mean, how aliens are depicted in movies and stuff like that. I mean, don't they look very similar to how demons are depicted or angels? I mean, I guess where do we anyway? And like I said, it's a very touchy subject. You really can't pinpoint unless you have actual proof of something. And I don't think there is any. And with all the videos that we see online, the only video that comes to mind that was very interesting, and it was unfortunate that this person. So I don't know if y'all guys recall this video of this dude that said that he saw a giant, and as he was making videos, it was suspicious because the government was there were government vehicles following him, observing him. He had it on. This was a guy that went on Facebook and said that he saw a giant in the mountains or something like that. And when he made a video saying that he made it all up and that he was lying and yada yada yada, I mean, you can look at his body language and see that someone was threatening him. Uh, it's not. It was very obvious that because he was looking to the side and you can see in his face is like, is this what you want me to say? And if I say it, will you let me go? It's obvious, the same body language, facial features of someone in a hostage situation. And unfortunately, after that, he lost his life, or he was reported to have been found unalive. So, stuff like that uh, is interesting. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if we're taught that there were how many humans were there, and the Homo sapien was the one that killed them all, and we're the last ones left. If there were different humanoid figures, and we're the ones that killed them all off, how do we know that they're all were killed off? I mean, it's just one of those things where if you just think about and if you allow yourself to just think about stuff that you've been taught, it's like, well, I guess we can agree that we weren't the only humans here at one point. There was a whole tribe of them. It's just that they just killed them all off. But what if that did not happen? what if there are people? Because I mean, we have 7 foot, 8 foot tall people. So I mean, the thought of a a giant. I mean, why is that so far fetched when we have in society people that grow taller than 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall, and shit? So I mean, mm, is a fundamental longing for something, but yeah, I do. That is a very as humans we do that a lot. We do that uh because there's plenty of conspiracies, and I don't want to call it conspiracy theory because that it kind of it I don't want to use that word. I think I'll just use the word esoteric. There's some esoteric knowledge that there's supposed to be worlds outside of the ice wall that is surrounding our world, and that what we've been shown about the world that we live in is only a small portion of it, and that this rock that is floating out in space house many of worlds and universes, and that it's very vast and etc etc. I mean, when I think about stuff like that, it's interesting because kind of like what Red Kid says, that's exactly what humans do. We imagine a world outside of our own. But at the same time, when we watch when we watch TV and we watch a simulation of these outside worlds, I mean, you can't get any outer than outer space, right? It seems that societies, for the most part, function all the same. Either they act with high intelligence or they act like beasts. And if you were to go to these worlds, it would not be any different than the one that we are very familiar with. Um, I just don't see how a world can be any different than what we're already used to. I mean, right now, uh, any technological advance is only making what we do already just easier. It's not, we're not, I mean, unless we are teleporting and we're flying and shit like that. I mean, unless there is society that's happening. I mean, I mean, do we need to fly? And even if we can fly, if we fly too high, uh, there's low oxygen the higher you go, and you can't even breathe. So it's like, well, if you can fly, that means you have to design something that's going to allow you to breathe at high altitudes, because you'll suffocate and die. You'll pass out. Oh, oh. So I guess when I think about stuff like that, it's like, well, I mean, what's the point of that? Like, what's the point of having stuff like that? I mean, if you go somewhere else, you're just going to do the same shit you're doing now. But I guess it's fun to dream, and I think that's another flaw in the human experience is that we prefer to dream about something than actually having it. Because once we obtain it, we cherish it for 2 seconds and we throw it away and we look for the next thing. And that's what humans do. We just look for the next thing. We don't appreciate shit. We don't appreciate nothing. Unless we The only time we appreciate something is if we almost die for it. Like it's so the human experience. I swear, man, it's just so stupid. Unless we almost die from it, we don't care about it. It's like, oh, it didn't kill me, so it must not be that great. Like what? Like what? What? We care about our trading accounts after we blow it. Oh man. Oh man, I should have did this. I should have traded in micros. But then when you had the account, you was gambling. You weren't patient. Full porting, revenge trading. You was treating that account like shit until you blew it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I should have treated it better. Fucking. Maybe. Dude, organized religion, yeah, that dude, that's a great word, man. Organized. It's like organized crime, but then oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Oh man, I should have did it. And then we sit there and say, man, this is what I'm gonna do in the next account. And then what do we do when we get our new account? We do the same shit we did before. Full port. Oh no, shit, that shit's gonna retest that high. Full port, damn it. Oh, that meant that it swept the low, full port. What the fuck is wrong with us, y'all? What the fuck is wrong with us? But that's just humans, man, and we all do it. I don't know why. It's not fun doing it the right way. We're just chaotic. We just love chaos. We just love it. Mm. But I also understand that having something to believe in is actually very powerful as well. I mean, if you don't have something to stand for, you'll fall for anything. That's why cults are very powerful. There's cults at every level. When I was growing up and they showed that cult that people would drunk the Kool-Aid and everybody was dead, and I thought to myself as a child, it's like, man, like how can you be that retarded? Like, why the hell are you drinking? Like this shit is spiked. You know it's poison. Why the fuck are you drinking it? But then people want something to believe in. It feels good to believe that uh if your life sucks, it's not your fault. Oh my god, that feels so good. It's not my fault. You're saying that I'm in prison in this body, and if I free myself from this prison, that I can live with this God that's going to allow me to be happy and free, and I can go and do whatever I want. Well, shit, sign me up. Sign me up. Depression is fucking real. Scientology is for rich people. Scientology is for rich people. I'm not calling it a cult, but it's very cult like. A lot of people would consider it a cult. I will say that I agree with some things in Scientology because it's just psychology, in my opinion. Now, I'm only speaking about it at a surface level, and a lot of the stuff is just psychology. It's stuff that we all do, like uh, affirmations, looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself who you are, being powerful, being mindful, being assertive, just expressing yourself. And I'm speaking at a surface level. Now, what they like, if it's deeper and darker than that, then that's just going far and beyond, in my opinion. But I'm just speaking at a surface level at this point. But I understand that some people see that as a cult. Some people see that, yeah, see it as a cult. I think the language that God speaks is mathematics. Mathematics is the language that God speaks, in my opinion, because everything is a number in this universe. Everything is a sequence of numbers, infinitely moving, and patterns, shapes. They all have the same function no matter what culture you go into. And we also got to remember that okay. Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't surprised about that, but I still don't think that I'm not surprised by this wick. I'm not surprised by this whatsoever. I'm not surprised by that. I was actually we just got done talking about this shit about a wick. Now we don't know if this thing is going to shoot back up, but I wasn't surprised that it was going to sweep below that low right there, and that we was going to get a wick candle. But this, like I said, if anybody were to take this would be a 40% trade. The confidence level on this one is extremely low, but it could work. But it's yeah, yeah, extremely low trade. All right, Alfred, man, have a good night, man. Yeah, so that thing with Trump, we talked about it earlier. We all know that that was done because price needed to break away from that range, and it needed to come back and dip down into this range right here. It needed to come back down here. It was one of those levels that we was looking at before. It needed to come back down, swept the liquidity underneath that low, and then it pushed right back up. We all know that Trump does not have the authority, the power to fire Powell. I can't like if I'm a market participant and I saw that, logically, I would have been like, oh, yeah, that's nothing. We all know that Trump can't fire Powell. We know that. Why are we even reacting to it? But then the market is retarded. It's I like to think of the market as a dramatic, emotional, an unstable emotional child that will react to anything and everything just because it can. I feel that that's just a I feel like that's just a great example of why we don't pay attention to news. We don't try to understand what's going on in the news. We only trade the reaction to the news because the news is just there to facilitate trade and nothing more. And today was just a great example of that because that made no sense for the market to dump like that when we know that Trump can't fire Powell without cause. And he still would need Congress. We know that. Everybody should know that. And yet the market dumped like, oh my God, he's gonna fire Powell. Oh my God. Gold shot the fuck up. I mean, shit, gold got like, dude, gold, like, look at this move with gold for no reason. 85, 26. It's like a 50, 60 point move. And gold for some bullshit. But I want to show y'all something that you may have missed though. That was a 60 point move in gold. I mean, oh my God, we're so scared that Trump is going to fire Powell. Oh my God. And yet, look at where it trades up into a previous area of resistance and it dumps. Oh my God. What are the odds of that? What are the odds? What are the odds of that? Yeah. News just facilitates trades. That's where the market wanted to go. They used that stupid headlines to get there. It got there and then we dumped. The ES got to where it needed to get to and it pumped. Same thing with the Nasdaq. That's all that happened. Honestly, I think Trump is going to reappoint Powell. As crazy as that sounds, I believe that he's going to reappoint Powell. The world is a stage. This beef that they got, I feel like that should have staged because here's the thing. If this was real, Biden had every right to get rid of Powell, but he did not. Biden or Powell was a Trump pick. Now, Powell could have begged and pleaded and said, you know what, I'll be on your side. But you can't trust nobody you can't trust nobody, especially when you're playing at a high level like that switches sides based on who's in power. You can't trust nobody like that. Nobody. And even though they were trying to get, I mean, which I don't get because they've already had a female Fed chair. They was trying to make the Fed chair inclusive for whatever reason. Like fuck the world and its condition. As long as somebody that's a part of a a group, as long as they're Fed chair, that's what we want. We don't care about nothing else. And that was the speculation during when Biden was about to become president, but he kept Powell on. I just have this feeling that Trump is going to keep him on. I just have that feeling. I would be surprised if they actually replace Powell. I'll be surprised. But we have until next year to worry about that. But until then, we got our boy Powell, and just like what they say, we won't accept any Powell slander. We will not accept that shit. We're gonna check that shit as soon as it happens. Any Powell slander will not be tolerated. That man has made a lot of people rich with that Powell pump. We can always depend on that Powell pump, so the slander won't be tolerated. But the Powell pump has definitely lost its luster lately. I will say that. The Powell don't pump it like it. The Powell pump doesn't pump like it used to. That's still kind of right there too. But we can look at it real quick. But I doubt it because everybody's under the impression that we're not going to get a rate cut tomorrow or on the 30th. So we can look at it real quick. Yeah, no one doesn't believe we'll get it. If we do get it, just know that the mark you thought today was random. Man, that candle will be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because no one expects a rate cut at the July 30th meeting. Everybody is already focused on the September meeting. I mean, shit, there's some people that think we're going to get a 50 basis cut, which, man, the volatility on a 50 basis cut, oh my, dude, the market might shoot up 1,000. Man, I might actually gamble on the September one because if we get a decent size rate cut, man, we can like that. Like the volatility on that would be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Shit, I might actually get some long term. So if I play this right, if I play it right, and I look at the charts, we can. I might try to get some SPY or XBX longer term, probably like October contracts, and get them like way out there because the volatility would be insane if we get like a crazy rate cut. September, that's actually my mom's birthday. September 17th is my mom's birthday. I was almost born on my mom's birthday, but she said I was being an ass and I wanted my own day. So, yeah, that sounds about right. I was almost born on my mom's birthday, but I just would not come out. Now, if my mom gave birth to me when C-sections were a thing and inducement was a thing, then I probably would have been born on my mom's birthday, whether I liked it or not. But but they weren't cute like that back in her day. So, or I guess it wasn't widely available as it is now, because women can have children whenever the fuck they want to have children. Believe that or not, they can have children. They can literally pick the day that they want to have their kids. They'll set up an appointment and they will have their kids on that day. So yeah. But okay. Well, let's hurry up and do this real quick. See, I mean, if the Bulls can hold this, because I mean they did sweep the liquidity underneath this low. If they can hold it, like I said, this will be a 40% trade right here. But it does look like they did sweep the liquidity right here. There's a 200 EMAs right there. We got that low right there. They could potentially go for the highs of this candle right here, or potentially this high of this candle, or potentially the 21 EMA. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. There it is. I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised by that at all. But still a 40% trade. Let's do this real quick because shit, the orb. I mean, it was straightforward today. We got a sweep of liquidity, a small little sweep. It traded right back to the 50 EMA, and we got a break. I mean, that's it right there. And oop, oops. So today's the 16th. All right. So what time was that? So at 8:45. It seems like right after. So we've been seeing a lot of 8:45 activity. So looks like right after the orb forms, we're seeing the market sweep liquidity. Like around that 8:45, 8:50 range, we're seeing the market react at that orb. Yeah, we're starting to see that a lot. 8:46, 8:47. Yeah. So right after the orb is formed, just being mindful about what the market is doing. Okay, I think that's how I say it. Then retrace the high of that candle. The high of that candle is 23.32, and the orb low is 04. And so price retraced 26 points to the upside, and finding resistance at the 50 EMA. At 8:49. 8:49. Below that candle was at 9:48. So I traded 56 points to the downside. I mean, that's all we really need. That's it right there. We don't necessarily care about what happens. We just want the first successful break of the range, and that's all we really want to document for real. What I also want to do is document the first break, and then I also want to document the time when the market actually does the big break from the range, the big break. So about like 1016. So actually, I gotta put that like so between 1016, 1016 and 1018. 1016/1018 MQ close below the opening range low and then traded. All right. The low of this candle was 2284. 22,841. So 163 points, and then traded 163 points to the downside. Okay, cool. Okay. So, I mean, today was definitely going to be one of those days because we started off the session with low volume. The sweep happened at 8:45. The initial break happened at 8:49. The successful break of structure happened at 8:49. Break low. Initial reaction. Clean. Break of structure. Entry drawdown. I don't think there really was any. Once we got that break, it was clean. That shit was super clean. Yeah, it was clean. Once we got that break, yeah, it didn't retrace. Yeah, so 0. Entry drawdown. That was clean. Result 56 points. Full move. I think it was like what 163. 163. Actually, I don't particularly care about that. Delete this column. Okay. All right. So that's about it. That's it. Oh crap! I probably take that screen. Seriously? Okay. Cool. All right. Let's take the screenshot. Ta. And the chart trader on. I think the orb is going to get a lot better. Uh, Once we start to have actual real volume at the open, and there's actually volume for the actual break. Okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot and then we'll be done for tonight. All right. And that's not a price action, man. Nice. Nice. What the hell is up with that? Where is it? Where's that coming from? Okay. Nice. I don't know where I had this range at. Maybe let me see if I can find it again. Hmm. I think it was right here. Yeah, there it was right there. Okay. Cool. All right. All right, cool. Uh, yeah, I appreciate that, YM. You fell asleep in your. Hey, man, it is about that time. I'm about to actually go to club bed my damn self. So, but all right, guys, that's it for me tonight. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning. I won't be streaming tomorrow night because I'll be out of town, but we'll definitely come back tomorrow morning. So with that said, we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.